do not steal. Continuing this little bit of a series of devotionals on the Ten Commandments, we come to this one. Do not steal. Now, my recollection of my childhood was when I first heard this, I for some reason thought about stealing candy. Not thinking about doing it, but the idea of stealing to me was stealing something like candy. Or maybe if I really wanted to get audacious, I could think about stealing as being something like bank robbery. Neither of which are good ideas. But that was my understanding of steal, is something that would be something that you would be kind of like a burglar for, or a robber for. You'd put the mask on with the holes in the eyes, and you'd go in and you'd take something that didn't belong to you. Now, that is stealing, right? But as I got older, and as you've gotten older, you've probably learned that stealing is a lot more than that. Stealing is bigger than that. Yes, it's taking what doesn't belong to you, but don't we also have things in our world that we've made okay that are really theft? You know, it's one of those things that we don't think much about. But when we steal something that's not ours, even when we do it, quote unquote, legally, it puts us in murky terrain, doesn't it? It puts us in murky terrain because it puts us at odds with one another. When we take from someone else, even if legally, and we're doing it in such a way that causes harm, isn't that the same as stealing? Taking what is not ours? I think about this when I look at the rates of credit cards or at the same day cash advance places. When you look at the rates of what they charge in interest, it's hard to not see it as predatory. It's hard to not see it as stealing. Now, sure, yes, you sign on the dotted line and you agree that this is what you'll pay, but doesn't it put us in a situation? Doesn't it put one another in a situation where we are worse off? Where we are harmed because of it? That's what sin is, right? When we create distance between us and God and us and one another. When we don't bring one another together. So am I saying that we should never take out loans, or there should be no banks or credit unions or lending agencies? Or credit cards for that matter? No, that's not my point. My point is that the way in which we create these entities, we need to be asking ourselves, are we stealing from someone? Are we taking what isn't really ours, even though maybe they've agreed to it? Or is there a more ethical way? Is there a more upright way? A way of caring for someone, a way of working with someone. So it's something to think about. The commandment of do not steal, sure. Leave the candy bar if you haven't paid for it. Don't rob a bank. Don't steal a car. But also, maybe we should be careful of the ways that we steal that might be a little more acceptable. Except to God. Amen.